I'm not a little nervous at all, but it's so great to see so many people here to help us celebrate this wonderful addition that we've gotten and the return to somewhat normalcy in the world. We'd like to start with our wonderful Hope Chorus. They're going to sing a few songs for us to get us started. What's it? Here we go. Welcome! Glad to see you here. You're the very one I was thinking of. Welcome! Glad to see you here. You're the very one I was thinking of. Leave all your worries outside of the door and breathe deep. No hurry. Together once more. So come right in, sing a song or two, give your throat a treat, grovel on. Let's begin like the birdies do. Here's a bucket to keep your tunes. You're welcome. Glad to see you here. You're the very one I was thinking of. Welcome. Glad to see you here. You're the very one I was thinking of. Welcome. You're worrying outside of the door. And come right in, sing a song to give your throat a treat. Please begin with the breeze outside of the door, and leave no hurry, together once more. And this was written by Alice Struthers, previous director of the Hope Community Chorus. This is slightly called jazzy and Alice. You can't sing a song in a mask. No, in a mask you cannot sing a song. When you're messing with some music, when all is said and done, the most you can really do is hum. Sing a song in a mask, no, but we're doing what the doctors all have asked. If we gave a concert soon, we'd be silent as the moon, and the listeners would get only the room. It's not a bad thing to sing of hummingbirds. It's how they make the music when they forget the words. So we won't get together very soon, no. And although we're far apart, we're still in tune. Take care of all your neighbors, be ready to restart, and keep the music in your heart. Another by Alice. In the winter, winds are blowing. In the summer, it gets hot. In Australia, they have found it's just the other way around. In the winter, winds are blowing. In the summer, it gets hotter. In Australia, they have found it's just the other way around. And another by Alice. I want to sing spring. I want to sing see the world for once, all standing hand in hand. And yet I go through the hills, the peace throughout the land. The summer here, let the world sing today. The song of peace that echoes on and never goes away. Put your hand in my hand, let's begin today. Put your hand in my hand, help me find the way. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear the echo through the hills, the peace throughout the land. And hear the echo through the hills, for peace throughout the land.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful, as always. It's so good to have you guys back. All right, we will get this party started with our speaker series, and we will start with this Gary Shepard, who is the liaison and also has a long history with this facility. Thank you, Mr. Shepard.
Thank you, Karen. It seems like it wasn't that long ago, some 12 and a half or 13 years ago, on October the 31st, 2009, many of the same faces that are here today were out in the parking lot on a cold, wet, windy morning that turned out to be a bright and delightful day. And a lot has happened since then. We've seen a lot of changes, as we all well know. COVID also contributing to some of the challenges that we've had. That day was extraordinarily special for me, as the dedication of the library to Irene and Richard Follett, and to the senior center to the Roy and Nancy Shepherds. My parents, my mother specifically, was truly dedicated to the seniors and folks in Townsend. So to watch over the years of how these facilities have been utilized and grown, it gave us great pleasure to recognize the need and bring the need forward to our generous anonymous benefactor who informed me last week that there are better things to focus on than where the dollars came from, but better to yet think about how the community can come together and utilize these facilities. And he wished that I not recognize it. So you can dig back in your memory and think of him in your private time, as today he celebrates his 94th birthday. I think it's appropriate to acknowledge that with that gift, there were a number of other gifts that came to Townsend. Townsend has been extraordinarily benefiting from that generosity. COVID has challenged us greatly in the past year as we began to move forward with this right in the thick of it, with challenges in scheduling, challenges in logistics of product and everything that came together to building the building, yet we were able to do it and stand in this building that was built some 12 and a half years ago and look out over that. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on my personal thoughts, but I'd like to recognize a few folks today. In the past 20-odd years, while the town of Townsend has been the recipient of a highway garage, a library, meeting hall, a senior center, a fire station, a variety of other gifts, it has all been by a central team. For whatever reason, I've been blessed enough to be on that team in a liaison or a quarterback or an organizing position. And in addition to that, The guy that carried the ball down the court was Dan Gogan. Dan would like to probably drift into the woodwork most all the time, but he's here today. And Dan, if you just raise your hand. Thank you. For 20 odd years, it has been our team that's looked at the needs of Townsend. We've done the best we can, and probably could use a little work in diplomacy, but I think we've got a lot of it figured out, and we've been able to deliver it. But on December the 17th, 2020, we lost one of our key players on that team. It was more than disruptive and saddening, but this original project was designed by the Johnson and Roberts architects out of Somerville and Cambridge. That was Stu Roberts. But our lead consulting architect was David Uliman. He had been our consulting architect for 20 plus years. The three of us kind of wandered through this process together, and we were able to identify and pull things together. So David's fingerprints are not only on this building and all the other buildings that I spoke about, but he was the lead and the primary designer of the addition. And if you look at that addition, it should be somewhat seamless from the original building to the new building. And his fingerprints are all over, but he went for maybe not a routine kidney surgery, and folks would say, well, what happened and how did this happen? I'll give you a little bit of the picture. He went for a routine kidney surgery on 17th of December 20, and he died on the table. It was heart-wrenching, but at 56, we miss him. But as we stand here today, and we walk around, we recognize that this may have been his final fingerprint for Townsend. So I just really wanted to focus on that, and I wanted to let the folks in Townsend know that it's always been the interest of the benefactor to make sure that we identify and deliver the needs, and clearly the needs of the town have told us over the past 12 years, this has been an opportunity for growth. So with that, I thank you all. I wish you the best of luck, and hope for many more years of good service in the building. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. We really appreciate your heartfelt words. All right, now we would like to welcome Senator John Cronin. He's come to help us celebrate these wonderful achievements.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to be here with you all tonight. I'm reminded that I need to be brief. I was on a Zoom earlier this week at a community meeting, and I promised I would be brief, and I got cut off by the moderator after 40 minutes. So if I hit a half hour, just start singing, I'm out of But I think our senior centers, if you had asked me a couple years ago, because I'm young and not a little bit naive, I think the misconception that I had was that our senior centers are kind of like bingo halls, right? That couldn't be less true or more far from the truth. And I think I started to really appreciate what our senior centers mean for the community during the pandemic. And when I saw all the incredible work that happens at our senior centers and how they act as really glue for our community to connect seniors to services, whether it be medical care or transportation. And I think one of the hardest things that our seniors faced especially during the pandemic and before we got the vaccine, was isolation. Everybody was told to go to their homes and stay home. And as I saw the way our senior centers were stepping up, be it virtually or as soon as possible, delivering in-person services, I think everybody who works at a senior center, everybody who volunteers at a senior center, everybody who's a part of that community has been essential to the community and been an essential worker. So I would just like to say thank you and ask that we give a round of applause to Karen and her team and everybody who's been. So as I look around this community, and I've come to know it better, I grew up in Lunenburg, so I'm right down Route 13. But there have been some incredibly generous people who have left a remarkable legacy on this town. So I know they're also very humble and don't want to be identified, but I would just say there are people in this room who have made this community really special. and they have left really a remarkable legacy that has provided services and opportunity that's made a lot of people's lives better at the library, at the senior center, at the meeting hall. So thank you. This is a special place, and it's a special place because it invests in itself, and it's got some people who are really dedicated to every family and every man and woman that lives here in Townsend. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back here soon for programming. I think I've got 25 or 30 minutes left before I hit my ceiling. But I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Massachusetts State Senate for the work that has occurred here, especially over the past 2 years, but well beyond that, and all the great work that's going to continue. So I'd like to ask Karin to come back up and accept this Senate citation on behalf of Townsend. So thank you, Karin.
Thank you so much. This means a lot to all of us. As many of you know, the Senior Center is a team. I couldn't do it without my staff, and I'll be talking about them a little bit more later, but this really means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Veronica, that's a hard act to follow, but I'm going to do it. Veronica Kell, the chair of our Board of Selectmen.
So thank you, Karin. Thank you for inviting me to speak on behalf of my fellow selectmen, Joe Shank and Chaz Sexton-Duranian. This building has become a gathering place here in Townsend, and the increased space will continue to build that sense of community and pride in community. So we are so grateful that the need was seen and that the support was offered to us, to the town. We want to thank those who planned the project, the crew who spent so much time during the pandemic building this, and also to the staff on both sides of this building who were here during the construction and dealt with all the surprises that come with the construction. It's so nice for all of us to be here in person, and I know I'm looking forward to this additional space. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Veronica and Chaz. It's meant a lot to us to have your support throughout this whole project process. All right, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Bernadette Moynihan, the chair of our Council on Aging Board. Thank you. I can't believe how brief our two our selectmen and our senator were, so I guess I have to make up the difference. And since I'm old, forgive me. On behalf of the Council on Aging, who are the second row there, some of them, I'd like to thank the speakers and audience for joining us to celebrate how blessed we are to have not only a stunning senior center, but also a large addition to that center. Besides my more recent involvement with the Council on Aging, I've been welcomed to use this center for at least 4 years as a dementia nurse consultant. I guide families who care for someone with Alzheimer's or other dementias, as well as assist clients themselves suffering from memory loss. These services are pro bono. Karin Canfield-Moore and her staff have always been supportive of this endeavor. I'd also like to take a moment to say a few things about Gary Shepard's mother, Nancy.
I worked with her in the early 90s, as she as a social worker and I as an assistant director of nursing at the Highlands. We were both passionate advocates for our patients and became friends because of it. Years later, I had the privilege of assisting Nancy and her family cope with Alzheimer's disease. And I'm so very happy that this center honors her memory. Now, as a senior myself, I know what life can be like if I let boredom, loneliness, or lack of purpose take over. The Townsend Senior Center can be an antidote for all of those awful experiences. Look at their calendar, or the community of people who come here regularly, or the dedicated and hard-working staff and volunteers, the van drivers who pick you up. Look how hard they tried to help during COVID at its worst. Under Karen's leadership, we've had a robust program. Now, we have a vision of intergenerational programs that can be mutually beneficial to both students and seniors. Such programs certainly help fight off loneliness, boredom, and a lack of purpose for both age groups. In 2003, as the Director of Nursing at LaChance Center in Gardner, I asked Mr. LaChance for a cyber cafe with 4 computers to be used by residents there and taught and supported by students from both the local high school and the community college. The program was tremendously popular for both groups. Here, we have a vision also for several intergenerational programs. Our future is very hopeful, and we have more space to see it through. It's all very exciting, and I hope you join us on the adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernadette. We really look forward to getting those programs started. All right, now it's my turn. When I think about how this all started, I vividly recall standing in my kitchen on School Street sometime in 2007, perusing a copy of the Townsend Times. There I read an article about a gift that was being given to the town of Townsend. Lo and behold, it was to be a huge endeavor that included moving the highway garage off of this site and building what we now know as the fabulous Townsend Senior Center and Library. My life and that of many others would be forever blessed by that gift. I met my husband Brian here. We were married here. And in 2000, in 2014, I was honored
And in 2014, she was honored to be hired as the director of this.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. In 2014, I was honored to be hired as the director of this vibrant senior center. Through the kind and caring leadership of Christine Flish, who is here in the audience, the new senior center gained a foothold as a pillar of the community. When I came on board, my goal was to expand upon that. With the help of dedicated staff, past and present, I dare say we succeeded. So much so that it got to the point where every time I saw a certain anonymous donor, he would ask how things were going and what was needed. My response was always the same: We are running out of room. The gift of that additional space was offered to the town in October of 2019, 10 years after the opening of these doors. And then there was COVID. As with most COVID-related things, there were hiccups and delays, but with the tenacity and perseverance by all involved, especially the current Board of Selectmen, Veronica, Chaz, and the ever tenacious Joe Shane, the project moved forward, and we were able to start using the space this month. This celebration brings a breath of fresh air and much-needed reason to rejoice. The past couple of years and more have been a time of darkness, fear, loss, and turmoil. We have seen firsthand the effects of social isolation and how the effect it has had on our patrons. Experts say seniors experiencing social isolation is equivalent to them smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I can't tell you how thrilled we are to have our patrons walking back through our doors in great numbers. We are back up to pre-COVID numbers already. However, one of the greatest challenges senior centers have is their name. The word senior has a totally misplaced connotation in our society. For some reason, instead of worthy or revered, as in some cultures, here seniors are oftentimes brushed aside, ignored, seen as being used up, or simply asked to move somewhere else. Somewhere where they won't be a bother. Somewhere where nobody will have to see them or have to deal with their troubles. Those who have this view of our older than they are population have no idea how much wisdom, creativity, humor, and character their lives are lacking because of their narrow minds. We refer to our patrons as teenagers. A teenager is a person in their later stages of life who experiences or exhibits a renaissance of freedom, creativity, and social engagement similar to those usually present in a person's teenage years. Just spend a couple of hours here, especially on a busier day, and you will see what I mean. Right, you quasi quilters? It is important to remember and celebrate those who have stuck with it and continue to give graciously of their time and resources to bring a ray of sunshine and hope to those who need it most. Included in those are our volunteers and program instructors, members of the Council on Aging Board, and our nonprofit Friends of the Townsend Seniors. And, of course, the community as a whole. We never would have needed the additional space without the incredible efforts of our wonderful staff, past and present. Our current staff members are Donna Howard. She's our transportation administrator. Donna has been with the Senior Center for almost 22 years. Wow. Donna Fenton, who you've seen going back and forth into the addition. Oh, there she is, Donna Fenton. She's our manager. She's been here since 2012. Janet Cody, where are you, Janet? There she is. Volunteer coordinator, and I call her my professional problem solver. She's been here since 2013. And we have 2 new kids on the block who are in charge of programming. Lorraine Farmer. Greg Smith. And I dare not forget our additional van drivers, Peter Buxton and I would also like to formally recognize former Director Christine Klisch. Where are you? And program coordinators Linda Salisbury, who I don't believe is here today. Are you here, Linda? And Katie Petrozzi. made significant contributions to what we are and what we do around here. To Lisa Udelsman of Udelsman Associates, thank you for taking up the reins and fulfilling David's vision. To Dan Gogan, Kevin Horan, and the team from Gogan Construction, Stan Dillis and Dillis and Roy Civil Engineers, and the many contractors and individual workers, thank you for letting us give you a hard time and being so cooperative. And of course, to the Sterilite family and their generous chairperson, the breadth of your giving and vision has shaped my life. The lives of our children and those of so many. The world needs more company. Okay. The world needs more companies like yours. All right. On that note, here comes the sun, folks.
I feel gone, sick, lonely nights, I come memories. We are back to the garden, and I want to say thank you so much to Karen for inviting us here today. I can't see where she is, but, and for all of you too. And this is such a wonderful occasion. Congratulations to you all. You rock. So we have any slow dancers out there.
It is March 25th, 2022, and I'm here with what is your formal title,
I
Karen?
am the director of the Townsend Council on Aging.
Indeed, and we're here at the celebration of the anniversary of the Townsend Senior Center. Karen, how long has this wonderful institution been in existence in its present location?
The dedication of the present location was October 31st, 2009. And 10 years after that, the donor of the original building announced that he would give us a 2,000 square foot addition. And today we are here celebrating the opening of that addition, which was delayed by COVID, what would you call that? COVID pandemic, you know, and supply chain issues and such. So we're finally here celebrating the opening of our addition, and it's wonderful.
What will this addition mean to the senior center?
It means that we can increase programming not only for wellness programs and health and well-being, but for intergenerational programs that we're hoping to expand upon, and arts and crafts, whatever we can create and dream up, we will be able to do, hopefully.
Excellent. So tell me, how long have you been in your position here?
I started in my position here in October of 2014.
And what are some of the changes and innovations that have taken place since you took over here?
Well, we've increased programming significantly. We have increased things like massage therapy and Reiki and Tai Chi and a lot of arts and crafts programs. We were, pre-COVID, we were very well known for our travel programs and our trips. And we basically, every aspect. We also are looking forward to increasing our outreach as soon as possible.
And I know that you've got a lot of things planned in the future, but so I wouldn't expect you to name them all. But tell me, now that we've got the addition here, what can we look forward to in the next few months?
Well, we actually already have increased our yoga program by one class. They're filled up. We have more arts and crafts programs. We've got needle felting 2 days a month and probably 3. We've got 2 watercolor classes that are full. We also have senior fitness, and we have a very active rug hooking guild that comes here, and of course our Quasi quilters who are very busy making quilts to raffle off for to support Ukraine.
The pandemic hit everyone hard, but I suppose the part of our society hit the hardest was the elderly, and it led to a lot of isolation, a lot of loneliness. It looks like, let's keep our fingers crossed, but it looks like we're past the worst of it, and that a lot of elderly people, everyone really, but especially elderly people, will become much more active again. I guess you guys will be on the front line of all that. Tell me, how much more activity do you expect to handle, and do you think your programs will be able to handle all of it?
I think our programs will be able to handle all of it. The challenge that we have is that we are going to need to find a way to have more staffing. Our staff is pulled pretty thin right now. Thank goodness we have 52 active volunteers, and many of our program leaders are volunteers as well. But I can see that we'll need to increase some hours in staffing, definitely.
And if people would like to volunteer or help out in any way, how can they do so?
They can call the Senior Center at 978-597-1710 and either ask for myself, Karen Canfield Moore, or Janet Cody, who is our volunteer coordinator.
Excellent. So, congratulations again on this wonderful new addition to the Senior Center. Happy spring, happy end of pandemic, we hope, and good luck in the future.
Thank you so much, Harvey.
So, first of all, please tell me your name, please.
Donna Howard.
Donna, and what do you do here at the Senior Center?
So I am the outreach coordinator, transportation administrator, and part-time bus driver.
Wow. You do a lot.
I do.
Tell me, let's talk about your work as outreach coordinator. What does that entail?
So it is, I try and give people the information that they need to get services that they need, that they might not know about, but I know some of the things. You know, somebody needs help with Social Security, or if they Medicare help, I can lead them in the right direction. I can't actually do it for them, but I can lead them in the right direction.
Excellent. And how long have you been working here at the Senior Center?
In July, it will be 22 years.
22 years. So you are the senior employee at the Senior Center.
I am, and now I am actually a senior, and I wasn't when I started working here.
So you've touched all the bases.
Yep.
Tell me, you were around before this magnificent facility we're in now was built.
Yes.
This is going to take in a lot of area, but give it a shot. What has changed in your tenure here? What most notably has changed?
So, when I first started, I drove the bus 5 days a week. And I was mostly on the road. And we were in a storefront on Main Street in Townsend. That's where the Senior Center was. And then when this building got built, I felt like I wanted to be in here more. So I asked to not drive as much and maybe let somebody else drive a little bit, and then myself, I could do some of the paperwork for the bus, which led to an opening for the outreach coordinator. And I was like, I pretty much know everybody. I can probably help people, because I either drove people, or drove their mother, or drove their father, or their grandmother, or their grandfather. So yeah, so I know people.
And you're still driving the bus?
Just 2 days a week. Yeah.
So what? So I guess you could say you're the transportation czar here at.
Yeah, I am.
And how important is it to be able to provide that service to elderly people?
Well, it's huge, especially for the seniors who live in town. The senior bus is the only transportation in Townsend. I mean, unless there's a rare Uber or Lyft or something like that. So for seniors who recently especially don't drive anymore because they gave up their license or
Right.
got taken away, I'm the only way they get to their doctor's appointments, their shopping, they're coming here to the senior center. We do all that.
And what does the new facility we're celebrating today, the new space that opens today, what will that mean, in your opinion, to the senior center?
So that will mean that we can have more space to do more programs for more people. And I think, and in a beautiful, I mean, it's just a beautiful building.
Excellent.
And I love the way that the new addition looks like it's always been there. It's seamless, it's just,
Oh, yes.
goes right together.
Excellent. And if people want to contact you, how can they do so?
Well, they can call the senior center, and I'm here 3 days a week. So they can leave a message, and I try and get back to people as soon as I can. So just the senior center, leave a message for me or ask for me, and I'll pick up the phone.
And I can personally attest that you are the go-to person here.
that's
You've helped me out, you've helped a lot of people out, so thank you and
You're
congratulations.
welcome. Thank you very much.
First of all, please, tell me your name and your position here at the Senior Center.
I'm Greg Smith, and I am the Assistant Program Coordinator.
And I understand you've just started here.
Yep, I've been here since the 1st of December.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And what does your job entail?
Well, mostly what I'm doing is taking the programs that we offer. I'm making sure that all of our online sources are accurate, making sure all of the different software we use is up to date, and that's about it right now.
So where does that stand? I know you try to keep everything up to date and state of the art, but what does that mean to the people using the Senior Center?
Well, hopefully it means that all of our information sources agree, and that when they come and want to attend an event or go to a program, that all the information is accurate, that they won't be disappointed, that we have the wrong information out there. So one of the things that we're working on is we have the capability of putting all of our information out there and into the cloud, and people can actually sign up for stuff online. So that's something we're working on. We hope to have that working in the next couple months.
Now, of course, being the organization that it is and serving the people that it serves, and I count myself among them. I'm of that age myself, of people who went to school and went through school without having a lot of computer knowledge taught to them. Is that part of your job here, making the people here more cyber friendly?
I am going to do whatever I can or whatever I need to make people comfortable with doing online stuff, or if they still want to give us a call and sign up that way, that's absolutely fine.
Great. Now, we're here today to celebrate the opening of the expansion of this facility, the new room. What will that mean to you specifically?
Well, it gives us a lot more space here, and we're able to have more programs, more events, and it allows us to do more for the community.
Excellent. And tell me what's planned in the immediate future that we can look forward to.
Well, one of the new things that we're going to be doing is on April 7th, we have a local musician coming in, and he's going to tell us about Cigar Box Guitars, which is a new thing out there. I hadn't heard of it previously, but apparently it's quite popular. So we're going to talk about potentially building those, and then learning to play them. So I'm kind of looking forward to that myself.
Great. And I know they do arts and crafts here. They have health programs here. They have exercise programs here. And that's going to continue. But are there things that have come to pass since you started here that were new and innovative?
We have, it's hard, honestly, it's hard to tell because we start some things that they're new to me and I find out that they're just restarting them. But as you said, we do have a lot to offer, arts and crafts. We had a new one start the last couple weeks, silk painting. So people came in, painted on silk. There's always, every month there's something new in the arts and crafts world. And as you also said, we have lots of fitness programs, exercise and fitness, and we have a new beginner yoga class that's starting in April that'll be on Friday mornings.
Excellent. And now that the pandemic is hopefully behind us, I suppose this will open up whole new vistas of activity.
Well, I certainly hope so, because it's been frustrating for both staff and patrons alike. And I mean, I'm tired of wearing a mask. Most people that I know are vaccinated. Hopefully, there's enough safety around that we can get back to a more normal life at this point.
Great. And if people would like to contact you, how could they go about doing so?
The best way is to call the Senior Center at 978-597-1710.
Excellent. Greg, thank you so much. Congratulations and good luck in the near future, because I'm sure things are going to be things are plenty active here already, but now with the new year and we're past the pandemic, it's going to be a real busy place. So congratulations.
All right. Thanks, Harley.
No matter what you do, I will always be around. Won't you tell me what you found, boy? Ooh, boy, won't you? Now tell me all they want and be a part of it all. Nothing to say, nothing to see, nothing to do. You would give me all, as I would give it to you. Nothing would be, nothing would be, nothing would be. No matter where you go, there will always be a place. Can't you see that in my face, boy? Ooh, boy, aren't you? Now tell me your pretty world and be a part of it all. Nothing to say, nothing to see, nothing to do. You would give me all, as I would give it to you. Nothing would be, nothing would be, nothing would be. No matter what you do, I will always be with you. Doesn't matter what you do, boy, you, boy, with you. Ooh, boy, won't you? Ooh, boy, won't you? Thank you. What a wonderful line for that. Thank you for dancing.